Mother's Day is coming. Give Mama what she wants. It's Trigon time.
Focus Plumbing, always at your fingertips.
Pow! Danny Vegas time, Danny Vegas world. Don't be messing with me. Not at all.
You ready to
Yeah.
knock him out? Mama said
Yeah.
knock him out. And
I
you
was
used
talking.
that ring.
That's right. I was talking to Ronnie down at Trigon Diamonds, and he says if you want, you can set a diamond in here too. So all you, this is a ring about wrestling. In fact, it's very cool. Very, very cool. Okay.
What are you
Yeah.
chewing on?
I don't know. I don't know where all that's coming from.
Spit it out.
I am not a spitter. Okay, here's the deal.
Neither am I. Speaking of which,
Here we go. Okay, now.
Lewinsky later.
Well, Lewinsky is segment 3. Now
That
we're
was
going to
so
get into this controversy.
Okay, let's do it. This,
With this poor young, I guess I'm already saying what side I'm on. I'm not really on any side, but let me explain what's going on. And I don't even know her name, but she is a high school senior or junior in Utah.
high
right?
school senior going
Right.
to prom.
She went into I guess you call it a thrift store.
Yes, a vintage
A
shop.
vintage shop. In
Otherwise
other
known
words,
as a thrift
it's
store.
a thrift shop. And found this beautiful Chinese style dress.
Yes, gorgeous.
It's gorgeous dress. And she decided to wear it to prom.
I'd wear it. In a hot second.
Okay, so, all right, here we go now. Here we go. All right. So I guess, and of course, in the age of social media, she took lots of pictures. If this was 30 years ago, it'd be like, who cares? But now it's all over the place.
Twitter put it through the meat grinder.
Put it through the meat grinder. And this gal got a lot of heat for wearing this dress because a certain element out there thought that she was basically throwing or peeing on Chinese culture.
She was accused of cultural appropriation.
Cultural appropriation. Okay. Now, I don't think this gal even knew what that meant, but at the same time, I guess it all kind of depends on, and here's what gets me. Here's something I've heard, a new term. Now, I'm a sociology major, so I've heard them all. Heard all about all this stuff. Been talking race and stuff like that for 40 years. But I heard the new term called the majority culture.
Okay.
Okay, she, being a Caucasian gal
From Utah.
from Utah,
Her parents probably voted for Trump. So
Oh,
she's,
probably
she's
so.
mincemeat on Twitter.
she is, a Caucasian gal from Utah, has this dress. Now, I can guarantee you, I can go on to the internet and I can find literally Hispanic women wearing Chinese dresses, African American women wearing Chinese dresses, because because designers have literally taken that dress and made it their own.
Absolutely.
And they produce these dresses, and we have all kinds of things, since we're something multicultural, where people wear clothing from different cultures. I remember you just did a gala just about a month ago where you
did.
were wearing
I wore an Indian style formal dress. It was not a sari.
Right.
It was just a beautiful gown from India.
Right.
Purchased at a wonderful Taj boutique
Right.
over on West Sahara. And in fact, I went down to the store with my dear friend, Dr. Rita Tukral of Global Charity Foundation, and she helped pick it out, and she actually purchased saris for all of the women on the committee to wear to honor
That's right.
her culture during
Right.
the gala, which was a Night in Bollywood themed gala.
Well, I guess that's okay because the doctor's not part of the majority culture, and this is where this is where I'm going to go with this.
It's not according to a lot of liberals out there,
Okay,
but yeah.
because here's the story. I have been arguing for 40 years that there's an entity out there. I'm not going to get too harsh because that's for another day. I'm not, like I said, this is not a political show. there's an entity out there that I truly believe their job is to keep us separated. Separated just enough to where no one really trusts each other, and we keep the narrative alive that, we keep our minority populations kind of, they kind of think this and they think that, and they're kept feeding this narrative of separation, and then the white folks are all kind of in tune with each other to keep everybody down and all this stuff. And I'm just kind of thinking, is this kind of part of that? Let's take this Caucasian gal who bought a Chinese dress in a thrift shop, wore it to prom, beautiful girl, takes lots of pictures. Maybe she loves taking pictures. I don't know anybody else that loves taking pictures on social media, right? So, and she really got creamed by it, when I can literally come and take thousands and thousands of examples of different races and different colored people wearing clothes from other cultures, either Halloween or at a party or something like that. But is it because this gal is a majority culture member? Did she get all this heat? In other words, let's put it in perspective. If this was an African American woman in New York wearing a Chinese dress to her prom, would we get the flack that this one is?
You know what? I think I would like to reverse about 30 seconds. And I think you hit the nail on the head about 30 seconds ago when you talked about there being entities out there that are manipulating culture and society on social media, on the internet, all the time. And it is a concerted, direct effort. I just posted a link to an article that was trending on my Lev Social Facebook page.
Right.
And it is, the Russian hackers, we know that the Russians were behind a lot of cultural race baiting, bomb throwing during the election in order to help Trump win, was the intention, apparently. Do you know that they have found Russian hackers that were targeting wives of military members, posing as members of ISIS, threatening them and targeting them in order to, again, stir and inflame us American folks that want to get behind these poor picked on military wives. And it's not ISIS that was doing it. It was the Russians in order to manipulate us.
Right.
And I got to tell you, anytime you see anything that gets your panties in a bunch on social media and you're so inflamed because there's a troll out there, and whether this is just some small little douchebag in Iowa that feels powerful because he gets people to be upset by calling you fat or stupid or old or ugly or racist or whatever it is on the internet, or maybe it's someone in Russia with thousands of dollars being pumped into that room of hackers and instigators in order to change and to pit us against each other and fight each other. I don't even want to really give credence to talking about the validity of cultural appropriation, because I think we are better than that. We are bigger than that. We can take example after example of people from all cultures in this small world, because it's a small world now after all, that are doing so many good things and that are paying homage to people through honoring their culture, or through taking influences. I mean, we are influenced by everything we see and do.
Right.
But I don't even want to play into it because I think that it's part of the bigger manipulation. Now, we have a comment that just came in on the Facebook Live feed. Karen Falcone, one of my favorite Las Vegas taxi drivers. She says, but with so much fake news and trolls, how will we know what's true? Was it really the Russians? Well, for the military wives that were targeted, that they have proof because the government has been investigating it, and absolutely correct, Karen, that it was traced back to Russians that did this particular act.
Right.
But that's kind of my point. You have to look at everything that comes online as not putting a ton of weight and steam and fight behind it, ready to be up in arms and throw that Molotov cocktail back because you're so disgusted that someone out there has baited you into being upset. Be bigger than that.
Well,
stick to your principles.
right.
Say what you mean what you say. Do more good in this world. Every time I see something that's just shitty out there, instead of getting into the trenches and throwing mud and slinging punches, how about you intentionally make a point of 10 times doing something good and supporting others that you see. Tell that woman, that young woman in Utah in that Chinese dress, how beautiful she looks.
Right.
Or great job on your bargain hunting in that vintage store, and way to reuse and recycle and buy vintage versus buying something new. Rather than spending all this time talking about those liberal bastards that are wrong on cultural appropriation stand.
Well, like I said, it's a very interesting topic, and I can tell you, all my Hispanic friends and all my African American friends, ladies, the next St. Patrick's Day, if you want to wear an Irish outfit, go right ahead. Danny Vegas is not going to be offended. Okay, we'll be back for segment 3. We're going to talk about little Monica. Not Monica, Baby Vegas Monica, but Monica Lewinsky. We're going to bring her back up right after this.